Hello, my name is Connor from Team 4886S, and here is our fourth prototype robot this season. It's the second actually decent one, so I thought I'd make a video about it, talk about the cool things. So yeah, let's get into it. Pretty basic, 450 RPM, 3.25 inch drivetrain. Nothing really special about that, but the really cool stuff is the intake, right? So this is a 400 RPM sprocket and rubber band intake. It's really wide, so it can hold 2 if not 3 balls at a time, or it can pick up from a wide range with that. And then moving on to the most interesting and unique part about this is the flaps, right? So it's the actual intake is 2 balls wide, right? Tactical. Really thought this one out. Awesome, there we go. So it's 2 balls wide, right? So we can hold 2 balls in the same spot. So that means we have a whole lot of capacity. It's roughly 20. And yeah, so we're using the smallest flaps just because we want the least amount of contact when we're actually intaking, because when we have a whole lot of balls, we end up running into some friction issues. But yeah, then to score at the lowest height, we just outtake the front like literally any other intake. This isn't a floating stage, it's just hard mounted here, but that works pretty well. Then when we want to score on the middle height, we outtake here. So this is separately powered from the rest of the intake, and this spins this way and this spins this way, and yeah, shoots out this way onto the middle goal. Then moving on to the highest goal, we can just spin the normal intake this way and this intake wheel this way, and it shoots out like that. Oh, that was pretty slow, but it's normally much faster. I don't know why. But yeah, then we have some little weird things to make sure it all runs pretty smoothly. Right here, you can zoom in. We've got these, I guess, platforms, and that's to keep the balls off of the flaps, right? So when the flaps go by, the flaps are only like barely touching the balls, and that allows us to significantly reduce the friction, allowing us to hold a whole lot more balls in the intake. And we've got, I'll show some B-roll, but we've got 3 different platforms, and those kind of work, like I said, to reduce the friction. We use anti-slip mat all the way around here, and that is nice because it can conform to the shape of the ball pretty easily, right? This whole thing can go, I mean, it can move a whole lot. It's pretty stretchy, so that's pretty handy. Yeah, we're running 16.5 watts at the bottom, like I said, on 400 RPM, and I have actually tested it. The 5.5 watt motor is powerful enough to power the entire thing, if we want to just pick up like 6 balls at the same time. So that's handy just in case our chain snaps or something, or the motor dies. But all right, another cool thing about this is the converter right here, the funnel. It converts the 2 wide intake into a 1 wide outtake, right? So the balls can just go right out the front, like that, right? Show this better. So the balls are together, right, like that, and then we run this, and it separates them. So that's pretty handy. And that is ahead of the split for the top and bottom, so that works for both heights. Then moving on to this, it's, I don't know, a cage sort of, and that's for scoring on the top goal, the highest tube. These side plates are essentially for keeping the ball inside of the tube. When the tube is filled up, we have a slight issue where the balls sometimes just come out the side. like 20% of the time. So I added these and it works really well. And then this on the top is just compression for the wheels. So we're able to score in the long goal even if it's filled up completely. So that's handy. Some other little things to note are the high strength axles everywhere. I use 6 high strength axles, one here, 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 and here. I would have rather used low strength. We just don't have like any of those. They're all bent or cut, which is kind of sad. So high strength axles it is. Also right here, if you can zoom in to this point, this doesn't have a bearing block. This is kind of weird, but it's a rubber band looped around with a zip tie holding it in, and it works as a bearing block. It's lighter and more importantly, cheaper. So we're using that. What else is cool? Doubled up chain, reduce single point failures. That's handy. Oh, and the whole thing is pretty well boxed, right? So, or I guess it's boxed here, but it's pretty well squared. So right here we use shoulder screws here, 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 everywhere really. So we can like take the drive and we can try to twist it and it just doesn't twist. So very important. We could drop this off a table and it's still strong, even though it looks like it would fall apart. So that's handy. What else is cool? We can actually park with this robot. We could park with the other one, but it was slow. This one just works fine. We just like, I don't know. Oh, drive through. I think one of the drive motors is bad. But yeah, we do that. And this, I can show a B-roll of it, but we have a C channel on the bottom that essentially prevents us from going too far into the park zone when driving backwards. Yeah, right there. So the front wheels are off the ground, but the back are on the ground, and that allows for double park. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't have a tongue mech on this because I was too lazy to build one, and it's a prototype, so it doesn't really matter. And I also don't have an alignment mech for the same reason. But on our robot we bring to the lobster bowl, we'll have each of those. So yeah, watch out. Grr. What else? Yeah, I added the air tank. We have an air tank, just no pneumatics hooked up. I used to have a little piston in here. Yeah, I used to have a little piston in here. I might show a video of that. That would stick up and that would block all the balls when we're intaking to essentially prevent them from coming out the front. But then I realized if I just tell this motor not to spin, it works better. And then it worked even better with this standoff. So this standoff just comes in place. It prevents the flaps from actually touching the ball in the front, so the ball can't actually come out. And because this motor's locked, it's not gonna roll out or something. So that works pretty well. Anything else interesting? I don't know, it's a pretty simple robot.
Yeah, not that I can think of.
Oh yeah, it scores at about like 3 a second or something. I don't know if I talked about that. We can cut that if I have.
I don't think you have.
It doesn't really
I
matter.
mean,
But yeah,
roll.
so scores pretty fast. Yeah, it's a pretty simple looking robot, pretty simple functions. It's reliable, which is cool. I was doing a lot of weird testing on things, and it works even if we mess some things up. So that's good. You can cut that as well. Yeah, that's it. That's the robot. Super Sigma, Aiden. Oh, are you still filming? Super Sigma. Oh, I'm so good. Huge! Huge! I